The ultimate first cause is a being with intelligence and forethought. The question of the ultimate first cause, the origin from which everything else arises, has been a central concern in philosophy and theology for centuries. A thorough examination of this question leads to the conclusion that the ultimate first cause must be a being with intelligence and forethought, rather than an impersonal force, an abstract principle, or a collection of material parts. This video outlines the reasoning behind this conclusion, exploring the philosophical arguments that necessitate the first cause being a non-material mind capable of intentional action. 1. The necessity of an ultimate first cause. To understand why the first cause must be a being, it is important to first address the concept of an ultimate first cause. An infinite regress of causes is impossible, since such a regress cannot be crossed to get to the present effect. This means that there must be an initial cause that itself is not caused by anything else. This first cause is necessary to explain the existence of anything at all. The impossibility of an infinite causal series is a key point here. If there were an infinite series of contingent events leading up to the present moment, we would never actually reach the present, because an infinite series cannot be traversed. Therefore, there must be a first cause that is not contingent upon anything else. 2. The inadequacy of abstract principles and impersonal forces. Some might suggest that this first cause could be an abstract principle, like the law of identity, or an abstract object, such as a mathematical equation. However, abstract principles and objects lack causal power, they cannot bring anything into existence. Abstract principles are descriptive, not prescriptive, they describe the way things are but do not cause things to be. Similarly, abstract objects like numbers or equations exist in a conceptual realm and do not interact with the physical world to cause events or entities to come into being. Impersonal forces also fall short. Impersonal forces are the result of interactions between matter and energy within space-time. However, matter and energy are inherently dynamic, they change over time, which means they are bound by temporal constraints. If the first cause were merely a form of matter or energy, it would exist within time, and we would face the same problem of an infinite regress. The present moment could not have been reached if an infinite past needed to be crossed. Moreover, matter-energy, by its nature, requires space to exist, and both space and time are dynamic. They are not eternal in the sense required of a first cause. Thus, the first cause cannot be an abstract principle, an abstract object, or an impersonal force rooted in matter-energy. 3. The necessity of a non-contingent, necessary entity. The first cause must be a necessary entity, meaning it exists by the necessity of its own nature and does not depend on anything else for its existence. This necessary entity cannot be contingent, because if it were, it would require an explanation or cause outside itself, leading back to the problem of infinite regress. A necessary entity cannot be a collection of material parts. Material entities can be arranged in countless ways, and no particular arrangement is inherently necessary. The existence of one arrangement over another can only be justified by the presence of intelligence and purpose. Without intelligence, no arrangement can be deemed better or more necessary than any other. Thus, without a guiding intelligence, there can be no inherent necessity in any material arrangement. Furthermore, a necessary entity that is material would require space to exist, and as noted earlier, both space and time are dynamic. They cannot have existed forever without the need to cross an infinite temporal span to reach the present. Thus, the first cause cannot be material or require space to exist. 4. The ability to transition between timeless and timed states. Another key characteristic of the first cause is its ability to transition between timeless and timed states. This is crucial because, if the first cause were bound by time, it would face the same problem of infinite regress. It would have had to exist through an infinite past to reach the present. Since crossing an infinite span of time is logically impossible, the first cause must be timeless. Only a mind can exist in a timeless state and then choose to initiate a temporal state. Minds, unlike material entities, are capable of existing outside of time and then initiating actions within time. This ability to move from a state of timelessness to one of temporality is characteristic of a non-material mind, not of a material object or impersonal force. 5. The necessity of volitional action. For the universe to have come into being, the first cause must have initiated an action. This action cannot have been externally triggered, as there was nothing external to the first cause that could have triggered it. Therefore, the action must have been internally chosen, an act of volition. Volitional action is a defining characteristic of a mind. Pure matter does not have the capacity for volitional choice. Abstract principles, objects, and impersonal forces do not possess the ability to choose or to act. Only a being with intelligence and forethought, a mind, has the capability to make an internally chosen, volitional decision. The creation of the universe, therefore, must have been the result of a volitional act by a mind that chose to bring time, space, and matter into existence. This mind is the first cause, intelligent, purposeful, and non-contingent. Conclusion. The philosophical reasoning outlined here demonstrates that the ultimate first cause must be a being with intelligence and forethought. The impossibility of an infinite regress, the inadequacy of abstract principles and impersonal forces, the necessity of a non-contingent entity, the ability to transition between timeless and time states, and the requirement for volitional action all point to the first cause being a non-material mind. This mind, by virtue of its intelligence and purposeful intent, provides the only sufficient explanation for the existence of the universe and everything within it. Thus, the first cause is not an impersonal force or abstract principle, but a being, a mind, whose intelligence and forethought brought everything else into existence. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe, and comment below if you agree or would like to add your thoughts. If you would like me to respond to your comment, please make a level 1 comment directly below the video. I will respond to all polite level 1 comments even if it takes me a while, due to other commitments.